Sophia Momodu has once again found herself at the center of a major conversation, and this time, the situation appears to be getting more complicated. Just when many people thought the issues surrounding Sophia Momodu and Davido were beginning to settle down, another wave of controversy started spreading online, leaving fans with even more questions. For years, Sophia and Davido's relationship has remained one of the most talked about celebrity situations in Nigeria. Although their romantic relationship ended a long time ago, they will always share an important connection through their daughter, Imade. And that is exactly why every new development involving them immediately attracts attention. But what is really happening this time? Why are people suddenly talking about Sophia, Davido, and their daughter again? And why have some very serious claims started circulating online? There is a lot to unpack, so stay with me until the end because this story takes several interesting turns. If you are new to Gist Avenue, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of our latest celebrity stories and entertainment updates. Now, let's get into it. Sophia Momodu has never been afraid to speak about her experiences as a mother. Over the years, she has occasionally shared glimpses of what motherhood has been like for her, and some of those comments have generated serious conversations online. Whenever Sophia talks about raising her daughter or the responsibilities that come with motherhood, people immediately begin connecting her statements to Davido. Sometimes, she doesn't even need to mention his name before social media starts asking questions. Is she talking about Davido? Has something happened between them again? Are they having another disagreement? Is everything okay between both families? These are the kinds of questions that quickly begin circulating. And before long, one statement can turn into a completely different story. That appears to be happening again. Recently, several claims surrounding Sophia, Davido, and Imade have been circulating online, with some people even making allegations involving DNA testing. The story has generated considerable attention because of how serious such a claim would be. However, there has been so much speculation surrounding this family that it can sometimes become difficult for fans to separate what has actually happened from what people are simply saying online. And that is where things become interesting. Sophia and Davido have a history that goes far beyond an ordinary celebrity relationship. They are parents. Their romantic relationship may have ended years ago, but parenting creates a permanent connection between two people. No matter where life takes either of them, there will always be decisions involving their daughter. And when disagreements happen between parents, things can become complicated very quickly. Now imagine dealing with those disagreements while millions of people are watching. Every statement becomes a headline. Every social media post gets analyzed. Every silence becomes suspicious. And every small development can create another round of controversy. That is exactly what has happened repeatedly with Sophia and Davido. Whenever Sophia says something about motherhood, some people immediately believe there must be another problem behind the scenes. Whenever Davido remains silent, people start wondering why he hasn't responded. And whenever either family becomes involved, the situation becomes even bigger. This latest controversy has once again divided fans. Some people believe Sophia should be allowed to speak openly about her experiences. According to them, she is the one living her life and raising her daughter, so she has every right to discuss the challenges she has experienced. Others believe certain family matters should remain private, especially when a child is involved. They argue that once private disagreements reach social media, people begin choosing sides without knowing everything that happened behind closed doors. And that is exactly what makes this situation so complicated. The public only knows what becomes public. There could be conversations, agreements, and disagreements happening privately that nobody outside the family knows anything about. Yet whenever one piece of information appears online, people immediately begin drawing conclusions. And now the DNA conversation has made everything even more sensitive. Several versions of the story have circulated, with people making different claims about what supposedly happened. Some have even connected the situation to the American embassy, which has caused even more people to pay attention. But when a story becomes this serious, one question becomes extremely important. Where did the information originally come from? Because repeating something many times does not automatically make it true. And when a child is involved, the situation becomes even more delicate. Still, the fact that these rumors have attracted so much attention shows just how interested people remain in Sophia and Davido's relationship history. Years have passed, but people are still watching every development. And there is a reason for that. Their story has never been just about two celebrities who once dated. It became a story about love, separation, parenting, responsibility, and two people trying to move forward with their lives while remaining connected through their child. Davido has since moved forward with his personal life. Sophia has also continued building her own life and raising her daughter. But despite that, their names continue to be connected whenever another parenting controversy appears. Another interesting part of this situation is how quickly other people are dragged into the conversation. Whenever Sophia and Davido begin trending together, some fans immediately start mentioning Kyoma. And before long, what started as a conversation about parenting becomes a competition between women. But that creates another unnecessary problem. Davido's marriage and his parenting relationship with Sophia are two different things. Sophia also has her own life outside of Davido. The fact that they share a daughter does not mean every conversation involving them has to become another relationship battle. The more important question is whether two people with a complicated history can successfully raise a child together without every disagreement becoming public entertainment. That is something many people can relate to. Relationships end every day. People move on. Some people marry other partners. But when children are involved, communication often has to continue. That can be difficult even for ordinary people. Now imagine doing it while millions of strangers are watching and commenting on everything. That pressure alone can make an already difficult situation even harder. And social media does not make things easier. One person can make a statement. Another person interprets it differently. Someone else creates a video about it. Another account adds information. And within a few hours, a completely different version of the story can begin circulating. That is why this latest controversy has attracted so many different reactions. Some fans believe there is much more happening behind the scenes. Others believe people are simply turning an old family disagreement into another major scandal. And another group believes both Sophia and Davido should completely ignore the online conversation and focus on their daughter. But there is still one major question. Why does this story keep returning? Why does almost every conversation about Sophia's motherhood eventually become a discussion about Davido? And why does every disagreement between them immediately become a major entertainment story? Perhaps it is because their relationship became public from the beginning. People watched the good moments. They watched the disagreements. They watched the changes. And now many fans feel personally invested in what happens next. That is one of the realities of celebrity relationships. Once the public becomes emotionally invested in a story, they rarely forget. An old interview can suddenly return years later. An old social media post can start trending again. A previous disagreement can suddenly become connected to a completely new situation. And before anyone realizes what is happening, an old controversy becomes new again. That appears to be exactly what is happening here. Now everyone is waiting to see what happens next. Will Sophia eventually address all the claims circulating online? Will Davido respond? Will either family say anything? Or will everyone simply ignore the controversy and allow it to disappear? At this point, nobody knows. But considering how much attention this story has already received, any new statement from either side could immediately restart the entire conversation. And that is why people are watching closely. But I want to know what you think. Do you believe Sophia and Davido should completely keep their parenting disagreements away from social media? Or do you believe Sophia has every right to publicly discuss her experiences as a mother? And why do you think their relationship continues to generate so much attention after all these years? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Please remember to keep the conversation respectful, especially because a child is involved. If you enjoyed this story, give this video a like, subscribe to Gist Avenue and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss our next entertainment update. There is always another story around the corner, and when it happens, Gist Avenue will be here to bring you all the details. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.